Newsday continues here on One News Now. I'm Riza Diaz. The Health Department records over 8,000 new COVID-19 cases today. This is the highest number of fresh infections since May 2. The country has now more than 1.3 million cases, in which 60,000 are still active. At least 145 individuals recently succumbed to COVID-19, while almost 9,000 COVID-19 patients recovered overnight. NTF advisor Dr. Ted Herbosa believes the NCR Plus bubble may be placed under a modified general community quarantine or MGCQ after June 15. Speaking to Sa Totoo Lang, Herbosa said this is based on his prediction of the current trend in the metro. He lauded the vaccination efforts of LGUs and said that the country is on its way to open once more. Herbosa added that this downward trend is due to the public's observance of minimum health standards and realizations of what works in over a year of fighting the coronavirus.
I'm trying to predict the trend. Baka mukhang i-MGCQ na tayo after June 15. Sana magbilang Angela ko. But ayokong paunahan nyo. Ang thinking ko dito, ganito, no? Natututunan na natin, the people are beginning to learn what works and what doesn't work. So alam natin na dapat magpabakuna. Alam natin mag-avoid tayo sa matataong lugar. Less mobility if we stay home more often, less chances for the virus to transmit. So kung susundin natin yun, yung kaalaman natin na natutunan natin of over 1 year of fighting COVID, I think we can maintain yung kagaya nung nangyari doon sa sa last year, di ba? After August, September, October, November, December, January, February, okay tayo.
Now, even under GCQ, the government has started easing COVID-19 restrictions across the NCR Plus bubble. Let's get his insights. Octa Research Fellow, Professor Guido David, is joining us over the phone. Sir Guido, good evening. First, would like to get your reaction on the case bulletin today. We have 8,000, a little over 8,000 fresh infections, again, the highest since May 2.
Yes, hi Riza, good evening. We are aware that the cases today registered is one of the highest in a while. And the reason is that we're having still a significant number of cases outside the NCR Plus. And in the NCR Plus, we noted that during the peak of the surge in March 29 to April 4, 94% of the cases were from NCR Plus. 94%. But now only 27% of cases are from NCR Plus. So the rise is not due to the NCR Plus, but in the rise in cases outside the NCR Plus bubble.
Thank you for that clarification, sir. Sir, Health Undersecretary Maria Rosario Vergere says the imposition of GCQ and NCR Plus is a success. Do you agree?
Yes, I would agree that it's a success. Cases have been improving again in the NCR Plus. The reproduction number is about 0.72, positivity rate is about 8%. And right now we're averaging less than 900 cases per day. We're very close to pre-surge levels. We're not there yet because the positivity rate is still a little higher than 5%, it's 8%. But hospitals are now at safe levels in NCR.
So going back to the numbers that you were mentioning earlier, what does the latest COVID-19 trend say? And can the capital be classified now as a safe zone? And are there still hotspots outside NCR?
Well, right now, according to the average daily attack rate, we could classify the NCR as moderate risk. The average daily attack rate is, I believe it's around 6 or a little less than 6 in the NCR. So there are currently no real hotspots in the NCR Plus. We're seeing some spikes in cases inside the NCR Plus, but nothing that is really concerning at the moment. So what we're seeing is, outside the NCR Plus, like we mentioned, in the Mindanao area, also now in Western Visayas, in Negros Oriental, and also in Leyte, and even in Bicol, the Bicol region, in Camarines Sur, specifically in Naga and in Legazpi, we're seeing rise in cases.
Sir, we'd like to get your reaction regarding the reopening of gyms and other indoor activities at a limited capacity. Do you think this is a good idea?
Well, Riza, I think we have to, at some point, we have to take some calculated risks in reopening businesses because we cannot stay in lockdown forever. We acknowledge that there will be some risks involved when we reopen, but we are also aware that the business owners, the Association of Business Owners, are very careful in preparing guidelines for their respective businesses, and that is why we haven't seen a rise in or a surge in cases due to community transmission inside business establishments, inside restaurants. So we trust that they will do the proper, analysis and assessment of, how to make gyms and other places like that safer, because, even business owners are aware that if we have a spike in cases, everyone will be affected.
Sir, how about the compliance to protocols that used to be a problem? Have we solved that? And in what ways do you think we can improve on this?
Well, Riza, that's still a concern. Whenever we relax restrictions, the general messaging for the public is that things are much better. They are better, but the virus is still spreading. There's still 900 cases per day in the NCR, so that's still a significant number. So it is important that people still follow the health protocols and be compliant. And we are slightly concerned, or we are actually concerned that when we ease restrictions, one of the aspects we have to look into is how to, spread the information that the virus is still there and that we should still refrain from social gatherings because this is a significant source of community transmission.
Sir, with that being said, with the current quarantine classification that is set to expire on Tuesday, what would OCTA's recommendation be?
Well, generally, we would support reopening of businesses, but we think that we could retain perhaps the GCQ at this time. The reason is that, we support the general recommendation to move to a GCQ with lesser restrictions because, as we mentioned, situation is improving, but we're not there yet where we can, in our opinion, we're not there yet when we can relax to MGCQ. In fact, last year, as was mentioned by your health experts, we were averaging 400 to 500 cases per day, but we were still in GCQ. So the situation was better last year, and even earlier this year, but we were still under GCQ. We were not under MGCQ. So we don't think that the conditions are right now for moving to an MGCQ, but we think that we could move to a more relaxed GCQ.
Well, as always, we thank you for your time. That's Professor Guido David of the OCTA Research Group. Now, here are other stories we're keeping our eyes on. Reacting to the Isambayan's endorsements for the 2022 elections, Senator Grace Poe insisted that she has no intentions to run for president in the upcoming elections. Brother Eddie Villanueva's son, Senator Joel, also claimed that his father is not gunning for the top post. Meanwhile, former Senator Antonio Trillanes said it's an honor to be endorsed by Isambayan. NTF-ELCAC spokesperson Lieutenant General Antonio Parlade told News 5 that they will recommend declaring police under control in Masbate. This is if the local government won't cooperate with state forces in eliminating the New People's Army in the province. Parlade said this is after visiting the wake of Kit Absalon, who was killed by a landmine explosion allegedly set by the NPA. And President Duterte grants a Lapu-Lapu award to the late General Gregorio Del Pilar and Marcelo H. Del Pilar. The award was received by their living relatives in Malolos, Bulacan. Duterte paid tribute to the Filipino heroes and urged the public to honor their legacy. And for more updates, visit News 5, The Philippine Star, and Business World Online. Visit our website, onenews.ph, for more in-depth analysis. You can also catch One News on Signal Play app. Register for a free account now at www.signalplay.com and stream One News live anytime, anywhere. Mask on, wash hands, and stay safe, Philippines. I'm Riza Diaz. We are One News.